back, Refocus Gang, and welcome back to another episode of Refocus on You. I greatly appreciate you guys watching. I'm grateful for the support. I'm grateful for all the support, for real. I'm so thankful. Make sure that you are liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell so you can get alerted when I upload videos. Make sure you share this on all social media platforms. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with everybody, because everybody needs a little bit of healing. Today we're going to jump right on back into our daddy issues series. We're going to do part 3. And today we're going to talk about I guess you can say, symptoms, the characteristics of not having a daddy, some of the issues that you may have or may go through. I even did a couple of interviews by paper, you should say, and I got some good raw answers. Some of them are kind of heartbreaking to me. Some of them I cried while I read. Some of them I prayed while I read. So, growing up without a father, or with a father that's there but not there in a sense, it's kind of hard. First, what are daddy issues? The textbook definition is an informal phrase for the psychological challenges resulting from an absent or abnormal relationship with one's father, often manifesting in a distrust of or sexual desire for men who act as father figures. Remember, I said men and women can have daddy issues. Like, it's not just women. Men have daddy issues as well. Your father, they're supposed to be like your most important role model as a man. Growing up, your father is supposed to display what you're going to need in a man. The type of relationship you have with your father is more than likely the type of relationship that you're going to seek out, or you're going to seek out the relationship you lacked. So if you didn't have any form of relationship with your father, sometimes you may seek out an older man just so you can have sort of like a balance, and it feels like you have someone who maybe cares for you, take care of you, tells you what to do, is constantly on you. That's more of what you're probably going to seek out. Some of the signs of daddy issues are, we talked about a few, but some more are, dating older men, lack of trust issues, promiscuity, interested in the same sex, problems implementing boundaries. You know, we talked about boundaries are very important. You may have low self-esteem. You may be emotionally unavailable. You may prefer sexual relationships instead of committed relationships. And that's because you don't trust anyone. Your father hasn't given you that trust that you need. And you start feeling like, why would I give my feelings to another man if the man who was supposed to have been there and supposed to have took care of me and supposed to have loved me regardless of what, was not there? You may suffer from abandonment issues. You may be kind of clingy and constantly need reassurance. Like, you constantly need someone to say, I love you. You constantly need somebody to say, you're pretty. You constantly need somebody who can just sit there with you, who are around you all the time. It kind of turns into like a jealousy thing. If they're not with you, you feel like, oh, well, what are you doing? Why are you not with me? Why don't you want to spend time with me today? What's going on? Like, you're making issues out of really nothing because you're clinging to someone because you are afraid that they're going to leave, or you're afraid that they're going to hurt you. Not having a father can give you low self-esteem. And that's because daddies are normally the ones that tell you you're pretty, or they tell you what you can do. They tell you, why are you struggling? You got this. They affirm you. Without that affirmation, it kind of can lead to low self-esteem issues. Like the first person that tells you you're pretty, you cling to. Or the first person that constantly says, I love you, you feel like, oh, this must be what love is, because you don't have a prime example of what love should be or how love ought to be showed. You're just going off of what you feel may be okay. And if someone is telling you, oh, you're so beautiful, or you're pretty, or you're everything I wanted, or they're halfway trying to do anything that you feel like should signify that they love you, you will cling to that. And even if it's tearing you apart, even if it's tearing you apart, or even if it's not healthy for you, you will cling to that because you're not used to someone saying, oh, you're a beautiful girl, or I love you. You're just not used to that. So you cling to the first thing that you see. Daddies are supposed to love and respect you and show how you should be loved and respected. So when they don't, it can cause a lot of issues. Especially if you don't have a mother that's kind of there for you. Like if you don't have a mother that can give her all or put her all in or is all the way into her motherhood, and you're lacking a father, that can be kind of rough because you need that love from somewhere. Being emotionally unavailable, that's just, I like you, but I can't commit to you. I'll see you today, but I'm not going to see you tomorrow. We can kick it for months and months at a time, and then I might disappear for months and months at a time. And that's just, my daddy didn't love me, so who are you? You're definitely not going to love me. If the person who helped bring me here, he helped create me. If he can't love me, how are you going to love me? It's impossible for me to believe that you can love me and he couldn't. And that stings a lot of people. Sometimes your father is supposed to be your protector. If your father does not protect you, those issues will lead on the rest of your life. Because if your father hurt you emotionally, physically, don't say nothing about if he touched you or something like that. How do you trust another man? How do you trust that someone can hold your heart if the person who brought you here cannot? That's why promiscuity is kind of a big issue and is running so rapidly. Because fathers are not protecting their daughters. They're not making their daughters feel affirmed. They're not making sure they feel significantly strong in the being that they are, the person that they are. So fathers are supposed to make you feel safe. They are supposed to make you feel protected. They're supposed to give you that added strength that you need when you're in a moment of fear. And if your father has abandoned you or did not care for you, or if they touched you or they beat on you, they was not there emotionally, that causes a lot of struggle within, because you don't understand, if this man couldn't love me, no, how can anybody else? And we it's hard to understand that everybody is not this person. And although sometimes we can find ourselves being attracted to that same type of man, sometimes we get the complete opposite, but we can't love that person, or we don't know how to accept people to love us simply because of parental issues. So we're going to talk about mommy issues too, but daddy is supposed to be that safe spot, like in a baseball game. I'm safe here. And if your father don't make you feel safe, or if your father don't make you feel like he's there for you, that's gonna terrorize you for the rest of your life unless you try and heal from it. You have to make sure that you're not carrying baggage from this place to this place to this place, because once you start adding on to it, it's hard to cut those layers back. So we have to learn to try and make sure that we heal so we can accept the love that God has sent to help heal us. You ever met a girl who's kind of fly at the mouth? And when I say fly at the mouth, I say like she can speak on sexual stuff at the drop of a dime. Anything that comes out of her mouth is kind of sexual or some kind of provocative. Now, to her, she thinks, oh, this is just me. But that's not just you. You're doing that. You're masking something. You're masking hurt. And you feel like, especially if your father touched you or physically abused you, you feel like this is the only thing that grabs people's attention. So let me throw this out there so I can get some attention. That's how you get your attention. That's not cute. Like, we all have certain rooms or areas or people that we feel comfortable it's discussing certain things. But the first thing that come out of your mouth when you meet someone should not be something sexual or provocative. That's not ladylike. That's not feminine-like. That's not man-like. That's not gentleman-like. Like, some stuff should be reserved for a special someone or a special conversation or special people who understand, oh, we just kidding around. Because everybody don't understand that. So, no, sis, that's not you. That is some underlying hurt that you have to cut those layers back. You are more than sex. You are more than being abused. And you have to heal from that abuse in order to shake all of those layers of stuff off that has nothing to do with your inner person, the inner beauty of you. You have to let that stuff go. We may deal with issues like expecting people just not to be there for us because our fathers was not there. Or expecting lies. Daddy always lied to me, so why are you gonna tell me the truth? And we don't realize that we do that. Like, we don't realize, we say, oh, they lying. Or, I expected that because, and we just say, oh, because that's just how men are. That's because you're programmed in your mind that men are gonna lie. No man is going to tell me the truth because my father did not tell me the truth. Daddy issues can cause you to seek men just like your father. If daddy was not there and he didn't provide any type of emotional support, you seek men like that. Men who are kind of there but are not. You ever seen somebody who's more happier being in a relationship with somebody else's man than they are their own? And their excuse is, well, I just don't like people around all the time. No, sis, your father probably was not around, or those are the type of relationships you're used to. Like, your daddy wasn't around constantly, or your mother wasn't around constantly. So you're so used to that, that's just what you seek out. You feel like, I can't get close to anybody. I don't want to be too caught up with anybody because it always ends in heartbreak or something like that. I've also noticed if you grew up in a family that had a lot of drama, like maybe mommy and daddy was together, but mommy went her way and daddy went his way, and we was just there. The kids were there. We would do whatever, but nobody really took the time to care for us. That's what you look for when you're older. You kind of try to create drama so that it can seem like your normal home. Like, you're not used to someone talking to you or being there. And it's hard to raise your kids as well if you grew up in a family that you don't have a father or he wasn't there, because you give your kids the same thing they gave you. That's why I always try to say that I didn't, so I can't say it's a must. I'm healing from my issues. After I had my daughter actually made me want to heal. So she made me want to be a better person so that I did not put those things off onto her. But you find parents, daddies especially, because they find it hard to deal with their relationships. You find parents that do their kids the same way that their father did them. It's hard to give somebody what you've never experienced. And even though we live in a world where you can look anything up on Google, everybody don't have that mindset. So therefore, they give you can call it their best, but it's not their best because it's more stuff that they can be doing. But they give you what they experience. Daddy issues can include pushing people away or easily being attached. So like, anytime somebody get too close to you, or you feel like you're falling in love, or you feel like y'all are doing too much, you kind of push them away. Like you do something that's gonna tear the relationship up. And that can be friend wise, romantic wise, like anything. Just because you don't understand the proper way to actually have a relationship. And you're still so hurt from the lack of relationship in this place that whenever it almost looks like something is happening on this side of the track. You like, no, let me tear this up. Like I hear people say often, like, I don't know, I always just mess it up. And it's because you don't know how to have a relationship. If you did not grow up and have some kind of model of a relationship, like even with your parents, with your grandparents, with something, that's just the type of relationship you're going to seek. Not having a father can cause you to seek out fairy tales. You will be a people pleaser, overcompensator. That's the same thing with like the sexual talk. Like you start trying to please people just so when they come in the room, just so you get to know them. You're more so, what do you need? What can I do for you? You're a server, which is a good thing, but you'll put yourself on the back burner to make sure everybody else is happy. And that's simply because you're trying to get people to stick around. You're trying to get people to love you. You're trying to get people to like you. You're trying to get people to show you some type of emotional warmth so that you can feel needed, wanted, and secure. Newsflash. Nobody, if you don't remember nothing else I say, nobody can make you feel secure in you until you are secure in you. Nobody can do that for you. Nobody can love you like you love yourself. On one of my days on my Instagram channel, I put the same love that you're looking for, give it to yourself. The same respect that you're looking for, give it to yourself. Because you have to learn to love and respect yourself so you can show other people how to love and respect you. Because if you love and respect yourself, you're not going to take no nonsense off of nobody. You're not going to feel like, oh, I got to do A, B, and C for you, and you don't have to do nothing for me just to keep you around. No, the same energy I'm giving you, you're going to expect that back because you are loving, respecting, and so secure in yourself. Even if you got to sit by yourself, you don't care because this is who I am. Then there's fathers that are there, but not there. You know the daddies that are in the house with you, but they don't pay you no attention. They feel like as long as I go to work and I provide and I pay these bills, y'all just need to get out of my face. Like, you really have daddies that are like that. Like, what do you want? Go ask your mama. I don't got time. I'm not dealing with it. No, I don't want to talk. None of that. And that can be like, they feel like, well, I'm here. I was in the house. Well, I was there. No, you was not there. Like, fatherhood is conversational. Fatherhood is, daddy, let's lay down and watch this movie. Fatherhood is daddy-daughter dates, daddy-son fishing trips. Fatherhood is just making sure that you say, what you got going on? Come and tell me about yourself. Come here, tell me about your school. What did you learn today? Teach me what you learned today. Come and read this book to me. Quality time will override everything. I can give my daughter the world, but if I don't spend no time with her, I guarantee you she gonna say I was a bad mama. Matter of fact, I often say, and even though we're not talking about mamas, I often say, like, my mother was there. She provided for us to the fullest of her extent. But emotionally, she was not there. And I've later learned that it was because she couldn't give us what she didn't have. So she's very much better at it now. But I've always said that. She took care of us financially, but emotionally, she was not there. Like, she didn't express the I love yous or anything like that. So I can give my daughter the world. Men, you can be in the house and pay all the bills, provide all the food, make sure they have every pair of J's to hit the market. But if you do not sit down and have a conversation with them, they are still going to grow up with daddy issues. If you do not affirm them, if you do not tell them you're beautiful, if you do not make them feel safe, if you do not make them feel like they can call their daddy and daddy gonna straighten this, I'm telling you, they're still gonna be lacking something. It's so much more to parenting than just providing. You need that one-on-one. You need those basketball games. You need that throwing ball in the yard. You need that, daddy, teach me this. Like, you need every part of the relationship. Like, I always say it like this. The same thing you want from your woman, besides the sexual stuff, it's the same thing your kids need from you. So they need that emotionally. They need that physical touch. Like, hug me. Hug me, daddy. Let me lay down in your lap. Let me lay on you and we chill and we do this. We conversate. Sit beside me and let me teach you something. Conversation. Like, they need all of that same physical, emotional. They need all of that stuff. They need their time. Like, it's not always family time. I feel like if you have multiple kids, you need to have days set aside just for this one child or for this one child. Like, they still need their individual time because it's not just the kids. They are individual people. So you got to learn what this one like. And this one may not like. And this one can't stand it, but she tolerated it because this one like it. Like, you have to learn that about your kids. And if you can't really say that about your kids, like, especially if you don't know simple stuff like their favorite color or their favorite cartoon, you definitely need to sit down and have a conversation with them because they yearn for that type of stuff. Like, it's so important to be there. That's the most important part, being there, making them feel emotionally comfortable enough to come to you with anything, or that you just love them. Love is an action word. Like, you have to show love. And the more you show them love, the less likely that they're going to grow up and look for it in other places. So I greatly appreciate you guys watching. Next week, I'm going to talk about the interviews I did. We're going to talk about healing, and it'll be the end of our Daddy Issue series. I really want you guys to try to think of some kind of issues you may think you have, or that you are avoiding thinking about or talking about, that may stem from parental issues, whether it's mommy or daddy, because like I said, we're going to talk about mommy issues. But I greatly appreciate you guys watching. I hope you guys have a happy Sunday, a great week, happy healing. And as I always say, if you can dream it, you can do it. The only thing stopping you is you. All right. Have a great day. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.